Hi everyone, it's Aria, and welcome back to TLC Vibes. If you enjoy deep dives and the unfiltered reality behind the sister wives drama, be sure to give this video a like, because today's tale is one you won't want to skip. It all started with something Janelle wasn't expecting. She didn't get the news from Cody himself. She learned about it when she watched a producer's interview where Cody subtly inserted a confession. It wasn't loud, but it was hard-hitting. Christine collapsed into tears. Mary was silent. And Janelle? She stood there, hands clasped in front of her, unflappable. Too unflappable. No screaming, no fighting. Just stunned silence. Something within her changed in that moment. It wasn't only his actions, it was who he had grown up to be. Over time, Cody began transforming. He became aloof, erratic. He missed scheduled nights with Christine and Janelle. He ceased to make an effort in the relationships. Mary even confessed that years had lapsed since she had felt emotionally bonded to him. But all of that was different with Robyn. Cody spent hours at Robyn's house, then entire days. Eventually, it felt like he just lived there. He started bringing her up in conversations that had nothing to do with her. During arguments, he'd say, "Robyn supports me emotionally." After disagreements, he'd murmur, "Robyn would have handled this better." The message was clear. Why couldn't the others be more like Robyn? It started with small cuts, missed anniversaries, postponed family trips, and offhanded remarks. Janelle would later learn that "I've got a lot going on" was just code for "I'm spending time with Robyn." And still, Robyn acted innocent. When confronted, she cried. She said she didn't mean to cause division. But Janelle saw the truth that no one else wanted to say. Robyn was always the exception, the one who never had to follow the rules. Janelle, always calm and level-headed, began to draw away. Her optimism waned. What had been a stubborn belief that things would resolve, eventually return to the way they used to be, became something more. It became something quiet. Not booming, not explosive, but a slow burn. A steady, heavy burn. One evening, under the bright moonlight outside their Flagstaff home, Janelle at last confronted Cody with the question she had been carrying around inside of her. Her tone was gentle, but it was a knife's cut. "Do you even see me anymore?" she asked. "Or are you just waiting for me to turn out like her?" Cody attempted to rationalize. He faulted their lifestyle, the stress, but already the truth was out. He didn't love Robyn the way he loved the other wives. And he wanted all the others to accommodate her. Janelle refused. Christine refused. She already knew the indicators and no longer attempted to conceal her emotions. In a now famous interview, Christine explained, "I was never enough for him. Robyn was." Robyn, once more, wept in her own confessionals. She maintained, "I never asked to be the favorite. I just wanted to be part of a family." But by this time, the other women no longer believed her. Her tears no longer resonated with them. They had stood by for too long and seen her raised up while they were ignored. Janelle had had enough. In a candid moment, caught on tape but never completely broadcast, she laid into Robyn with exactly what she had been keeping inside for so long. "I watched you gain from every choice that damaged us," she said. "And you never stood up for us. You just let him place you above everyone else." Years after, Janelle finally spoke the truth in a much-awaited tell-all. Her tone was slow and firm, but forceful. "Cody's relationship with Robyn wasn't only unjust," she explained. "It tore us down. We had a family system, we had expectations, and he rejected all of it. He did not merely pick Robyn. He abandoned everyone else. He offered her everything. And when we questioned it, we were labeled bitter, jealous, useless. That moment, unvarnished, unfiltered, stunned even the production staff. For a fleeting instant, everyone was silent. "I stayed because I believed in our family," Janelle whispered. "In the kids, in the vision we had built together." But what the truth now was that Cody no longer desired a plural marriage. What he desired was Robyn. Robyn in 4 different forms. And Janelle knew, with absolute clarity, that she would never be one of them. And Cody didn't attempt to deny it anymore. In his own confession, he finally admitted it. Yes, he said, I fell in love with Robyn differently. I felt like I was seen by her. And I allowed that to alter how I treated the others. He took a moment, then continued. Perhaps it wasn't fair, but I was tired of being disrespected. It was to excuse his decisions, to save his pride. But it came too late. He had already lost something greater than he knew. The family's trust and the audience's trust. The truth no longer frightened his wives. They had finished playing games. Janelle, who lived on her own, was no longer that quiet, reserved woman we had known. She was frequently visited by her children. She spent her days outdoors, working in her garden, reading, laughing, healing, rebuilding. And in her last one-on-one interview, she spoke out for what fans had been waiting decades to hear. I loved Cody so much, she admitted. I had genuine faith in us. But when someone wants to be queen and demands the rest of us bow down, that isn't a family. I won't do it again. She stopped and smiled. Not a bitter one, but a peaceful one. The kind that results from inner peace. I know who I am, and I don't have to become Robyn in order to be worthy. She settled back, gentle but firm. I'm Janelle Brown, and finally, I'm choosing me. Flagstaff was well into fall. The chilly air brought change with it, cold and bracing. The leaves on the family cabin wore a fiery orange and red color, a warning and a goodbye all at once. It had been months that Janelle had last laid eyes on Cody and Robyn together. But today, they were coming together again, grudgingly, for a family sit-down. The producers had been clamoring for it, but it was the kids, particularly Gabriel and Gwendolyn, who pressed for it. They needed closure. No more tears. No more finger-pointing. Just truth. Clarity. Accountability. Within the big cabin, a massive rustic table filled the center of the room. Discreet cameras recorded it all. Every glance, every inhalation. Janelle arrived first, silent, self-assured. She padded across the wood floors in boots that struck the floor with a soft thud, swathed in a dark green coat that caused her to blend into the scenery, stable, unmoving. Then Cody and Robyn appeared. She gripped his arm tightly, as if it were her defense. He seemed strained, like a man going to war. The air was electric. Gabriel stood by the fireplace, arms folded, jaw set. His sister Savannah sat next to him, eyes red but determined. Logan, Gwendolyn, even Robyn's daughter, Aurora. Gabriel spoke into the stillness. Let's not act like this was some kind of miscommunication, he declared. We all witnessed what occurred. You chose her, Dad. Time and time again. Cody's mouth had begun to open to respond, but Gabriel silenced him with a mere upturned palm. When I cried when you didn't make it to my graduation, he went on, voice shaking, you told me to get over it. Told me family was messy. But it's not messy. It's selective. You made it that way. Janelle placed a gentle hand on her son's arm, soothing him. He sat down, but the pain still lingered in the air like smoke. She turned to Cody and Robyn then. Her voice was firm and low. I asked you once, do you even see me anymore? You didn't answer me then. So I'm asking you again. Right here. Right now. Cody squirmed in his seat. He looked ill at ease, vulnerable. You were there, Janelle, he grunted. I still do. I did. But I was drowning. You weren't there when I needed you, Janelle declared, her voice unshaking. You wanted loyalty, but only from people who worshipped you. Robyn provided the kind of affirmation you desired. But we, Christine, Mary, and I, we pushed you. That's not disrespect, Cody. That's partnership. She spun to Robyn. Tell me something, she said. Do you honestly think you won his loyalty in a manner we did not? Or did a man, willing to be loved, simply find someone who would not challenge him? Robyn's face hardened in shock. Then softly she said, being the favorite was never anything I desired. A voice from the rear of the room pierced the tension, Christine's. But you were, she said quietly. And you didn't stop it, Marsh. They all turned to stare at her. Although Christine had slipped in unnoticed, her presence dominated the room. Head high, shoulders set, unapologetic. "You saw what he did to us?" she went on. "You saw him leave our kids, pit us against you, and you let it happen." Cody's hand slapped the table. "Enough," he barked. "You speak as if I orchestrated all of this. As if I wanted our family to break apart." Janelle didn't blink. "No, Cody," she replied calmly. "You wanted control. And when you couldn't control us, you found someone who let you. That wasn't love. That was convenience." She never spoke loudly, but there was a gravity in her words. Years of disappointment, betrayal, and silence that rode every sentence. Cody appeared devastated, his face contorted with sorrow, guilt, and defensiveness simultaneously. "I didn't know how to love all of you," he said softly. "I failed, but I was tired of being the bad guy all the time." Janelle didn't flinch, then stopped narrating as if you were the victim. Robyn wept. "I've done my best to keep this family afloat," she wailed. "I never wanted to replace anybody, but this time, no one hurried to console her. Not even Aurora, sitting in muteness beside her, would turn to look. Gwendolyn's voice sounded clearly, "You've said that each season. But it wasn't only that you became the favorite. You acquiesced. That's not innocence. That's complicity." There was a silence, a deep, reverberating stillness that spoke far greater than words ever could. And then Janelle rose. "I didn't show up to yell. I showed up to leave behind a version of this family that never really saw me." Her eyes moved between Cody and Robyn. "You don't think about me unless I'm not around. That's the truth. But I'm finished playing a supporting character in a story where Robyn always gets the lead and the rest of us are just background music." She faced her children. "I'm choosing us now, and if you need a fantasy to ease your guilt, go ahead. But we're done." Cody sat back in his chair. Robyn still wept, softly this time, wiping away tears no one offered to dry. Janelle felt Christine's firm hand on her shoulder. Gabriel hugged his mother. The children inched forward one by one, bound not only by love, but by pain shared that had finally been understood. There was no tidy ending, just reality, exposed at last. Outside, the wind began to howl. Inside, the illusion was broken. 2 weeks had gone by since that argument in the living room. It hadn't created peace, but it had created truth. And that was enough. Because Christine was by her side, unflinching. Because Robyn's tears were no longer potent. And because Cody, the man who once headed a huge family, was now just a name at the epicenter of the chaos he created. But what happened afterwards wasn't from the wives. It came from the children. The first was Gwendolyn. At 2:12 a.m., she opened TikTok. No makeup, no dramatics, just her, sitting in a dark room lit by soft fairy lights. She didn't look angry. She looked done. Into the camera, she said, "I used to think staying quiet was the respectful thing to do. For the show, for the family. I protected him," Gwendolyn said quietly, staring into the camera. "I tried to protect a father who only ever showed up for Robyn. But I'm not doing that anymore." She paused, took a breath, and continued. "My father wanted wives who obeyed. And when they didn't, he punished them, emotionally, not with words, but with absence. He set Robyn on a pedestal none of us could reach, not even his own kids." In a matter of hours, her video went viral. The number Cody exposed hashtag was trending everywhere. Then Gabriel fired back, less composed, more visceral. On Instagram, he wrote, "He stopped calling. He stopped coming around. All because we asked why Robyn was now suddenly supposed to be our mom. Does that make us unloyal?" And Garrison chimed in, "We didn't lose our father. We watched him walk away from us for another family." The internet erupted. Comment sections with tears, anger, and tidal waves of support for the kids, for Christine, and for Janelle. But not for Cody. And not for Robyn. Robyn attempted to say something. She live-streamed on Cameo with shaking hands and weeping eyes. "I never asked for this," she sobbed. "I just tried to love everyone. I was never the enemy." But the comments didn't relent. "You didn't stop it. Silence isn't love." You saw him wipe his kids away. The next morning, TLC executives convened an emergency meeting. Yes, the numbers were through the roof, but for all the wrong reasons. The viewers didn't crave drama anymore. They craved accountability. An internal producer email leaked on the internet. It was written, "We need to flip the script. Cody is toxic. Robyn's reputation is beyond salvage. The viewers demand justice, not gaslighting." Discussion began. Some advocated for the cancellation of filming. Others advocated for a spin-off with Christine and Janelle, Life After Cody. And a few quietly suggested the unthinkable, omit Cody entirely. Cody, decidedly unraveling, went live on YouTube shortly thereafter. His hair was disheveled, his eyes bloodshot. "People who don't get plural marriage are turning me into the bad guy," he said. I tried to love all my wives." He stopped, then his voice grew bitter. "But some of my kids, they've been poisoned by Christine, by Janelle. I was never respected by them." The comment section erupted. "It wasn't the other way around. You failed them. Blaming your kids? That's low. You didn't want a family? You wanted obedience?" Then came the legal reckoning. Christine's attorney fired off an official notice. Cody was owed years of past expenses, payments for their daughter Truly's schooling, among other things. Janelle did the same thing and threw a bombshell. She included bank statements that revealed Robyn's $900,000 Arizona mansion had been financed on money drawn from their shared family account. Money that resulted in Janelle and her kids living in a trailer park on a dirt lot. In a one-on-one interview, Janelle spilled, he said he was broke, said there wasn't any land anymore, but he was constructing Robyn a kingdom. Then the lawyers descended upon the scene, and TLC found itself caught in the middle of a wildfire. Next, Logan Brown, the oldest, the quietest among them, spoke up for the first time, writing a statement that went viral overnight. "We adored our father. We admired him. We made excuses. But when he picked one wife out of the pack, that was it. The family started to disintegrate. We were children. We deserved more. This is not slander, it's fact." That evening, Robyn's Etsy jewelry business dissolved in tidal waves of one-star reviews. Cody's cameo appearances dried up. Fans started demanding a completely new format. Christine and Janelle, Life After Cody. And in the midst of it all, the public rallied. Not in support of Cody, not in support of Robyn, but in support of the adult children. Strangers were sending emotional support, job opportunities, housing assistance, and messages of raw empathy. The narrative wasn't so much about the marriage anymore. It was about a generation struggling to heal. While the media firestorm raged on, something surprising began to develop. Support, not merely in the guise of likes or sympathy, but real influence. Fans started making donations to Garrison's charitable endeavors. Gwendolyn began podcast segments focused on mending family estrangement. Gabriel had a sincere interview with People magazine in which he spoke candidly about the hurt and the silence that ensued because of their father's actions. And in Utah, somewhere on a snowy, cold morning, Janelle sat covered in a wool blanket on her back porch. Snow drifted gently around her while she sipped hot tea from a mug. She read message after message on her phone from strangers, from admirers, from youth, some having been through the same, and others thanking her for her voice. Her eyes glowed with inner strength as she gazed up from the monitor, then into the camera. "My husband might be dead," she whispered, "but I discovered something far more valuable, my voice. And better than that, I discovered my children standing with me." She stood a moment, firm now. "I have no regrets about coming away. I only regret staying quiet for so long." But the tale wasn't finished. Sister Wives Season 19 ended on a shocking cliffhanger. Robyn Brown, still there, still in charge, was no longer camouflaging. Instead, she was thriving, more assertive, more self-assured, and fully unrepentant. As Mary, Christine, and Janelle remade themselves beyond Cody's sphere, Robyn appeared to fit so seamlessly into the position she had quietly assumed years before, the sole surviving wife, and perhaps the sole one to receive precisely what she desired all along. What began as a messy, hurtful chapter for Cody and Robyn came to be something else. Robyn was no longer acting innocent or clueless. On the Tell-All Part 3, she confessed what everyone suspected all along. She was always Cody's favorite. This revelation ripped the lid off the longest-standing tension in the show. Fans and sister wives alike saw for years how Cody indulged Robyn's needs while ignoring the needs of the others emotionally and physically. In previous episodes of Season 19, Robyn had said that she still wanted to be a part of one unbroken family. She had said she had also been expecting the other wives to come back, and that she had felt alone when they did not. But her behavior and subsequent words spoke louder than that. On the Tell-All, host Sukanya Krishnan asked Robyn if there were any sneaky little things fans had been debating forever. Robyn breezily admitted that when she and Cody went on the road, he always let her have the baggage rack, while Janelle's and Christine's sat on the floor. To the ex-wives, it was a little sharp detail, a nod that Cody's comfort was always the priority, and only Robyn's was catered to. And Robyn? She brushed it off, told it wasn't a big deal. But people observed everything. The condescending tone, the smug look, the way she downplayed the suffering of the women who had once been her family. And the fact became irrefutable. Robyn hasn't talked to any of her former sister wives, or their kids, since the family dissolved. It wasn't distance, it was a deliberate decision to distance herself from the fallout. It wasn't about feigning innocence anymore. Robyn had conquered. She had Cody. And once the other girls were out of the picture, she no longer needed to pretend she didn't play a part in it. As it happens, Robyn's desire to be the real wife didn't start with the divorces. It began as soon as Cody put her first. After that, she no longer had to pretend to be confused or in need of rescue. The favoritism wasn't just winking, it was structural, embedded within the family's disintegration. In May 2025, a picture appeared on Facebook. Cody and Robyn smiling together, arm in arm in Idaho Falls, looking serene, happy, and very much like a couple who had finally achieved everything they desired. As bad as things got, the backlash, the broken-up family, and the growing criticism, Cody and Robyn seemed to be doing just fine. Following the sale of their Flagstaff residence for $1.775 million in late 2024, the duo wasted no time in making a profit and moving up. They bought a new, grand 7,884 square foot mansion with 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms that was said to be worth a whopping $2.1 million, according to InTouch. The acquisition followed rumors that they had been compelled to put their old residence up for sale due to financial constraints. Yet, judging by their new property and lifestyle, hardship doesn't seem to be holding them back. If anything, it seems Cody now has fewer financial obligations than ever, especially since he no longer provides for Christine, Janelle, or Mary. All of his efforts, financially and emotionally, are now funneled exclusively into his life with Robyn. But behind the scenes, not all is calm. At one telling moment on Season 19, Janelle spoke candidly about their financial system. She revealed that Cody tended to take money out of the family share without telling anyone. As the bookkeeper, Janelle said that Cody had complete control of the money. Yet, he attempted to frame her for mismanaging. This financial imbalance resulted in bitter fights, most notably over the hotly disputed Coyote Pass property. While Janelle and Mary battled for their portion, Robyn's spending was not curbed. As Ashley's reality roundup indicated, Robyn spent $60,000 during 2024 alone on collectible dolls and accessories, documenting an offbeat fixation that appeared to continue even while the remainder of the family could barely make ends meet. Robyn's ostensibly and widely accepted Etsy shop is still up and running, a modest but symbolic reminder that her priorities haven't changed, even as her family has fallen apart. While Cody is now legally and spiritually bound to only one woman, his life of monogamy doesn't seem to be founded on any sort of emotional development. It's founded on circumstance. His polygamous universe imploded, not because he matured, but because each other wife lost interest. What Cody today refers to as a fresh start might be a frantic fallback instead. Without wives to legitimize him, console him, test him, and sidetrack him, Cody's whole self, once ordered around control, chaos, and nonstop attention, is disintegrating. In the past, if one wife questioned him, another would reassure him. If intimacy faded with one, another offered connection. If he felt disrespected, another praised him. It was a self-sustaining cycle that gave him power, purpose, and a constant emotional safety net. But with Robyn as his only mirror now, that cycle is broken. Robyn alone has to bear the emotional validation of Cody now. And it's a task nobody, not even the most committed partner, is capable of doing by themselves. The cracks are appearing already. Cody has spent years relying on the emotional supports of his several wives. Without them, he's vulnerable, and Robyn is crushed. He is a man who does not know how to be when unseen, vaunted, and followed. And should Robyn ever stumble, if she ever exhausts herself, refuses, or retreats, even just a little bit, there is no stand-in. No interloper. No net beneath him. Cody Brown is for the first time in decades completely alone. And that may be the most vulnerable aspect of all. And as for Robyn, the formerly put together and emotionally stable wife might not stay unruffled long. In recent interviews, she started speaking in veiled terms, talking of loss, loyalty, and betrayal, telling hints that her hold is weakening, that the burden of being everything to one man is finally telling. And if this new reality continues to crack, viewers might soon see not the collapse of a marriage, but the destruction of the last illusion. Robyn's tearful nervousness in her confessionals does not bespeak the happiness of a woman settled in a solid one-on-one relationship. Rather, they are the silent apartness of a woman attempting to keep it all together, trying to cling to both a marriage and a TV legacy that is already deteriorating. Deep inside, she might bear some of the responsibility, or at least feel the onus. But perhaps the problem lies not with the world at large, but with Cody himself. His model of monogamy isn't based on emotional development. It's based on loss. He didn't opt for it. He defaulted to it when all other relationships collapsed. Without development, without healing, this so-called new beginning is less love and more an attempt at getting back in the driver's seat. Even to this day, in this new dynamic, Cody's old habits persist. Temper tantrums, resentments toward his former wives, a controlling nature, and an intense aversion to personal responsibility. His self-concept was formed in a world of polygamy. Without it, he's lost. And Robyn is the sole force propping him up. That's not a healthy foundation, though. One woman can't bear the emotional burden that four once carried. And Robyn's patience is wearing remarkably thin. The reality? This new iteration of their partnership doesn't feel like a marriage that will endure. It feels instead like a pact of survival, bonded by a common fear of obsolescence, embarrassment, and the awful realization that maybe their dream didn't come together after all. Could they be happy together? Possibly, but only if they're open to growing, particularly Cody, who needs to figure out how to exist apart from constant approbation and to provide authentic partnership instead of domination. Because Sister Wives is no longer portraying a successful polygamous family. It's chronicling a lingering, agonized disintegration, a implosion cloaked in the veneer of monogamy. And perhaps, that explosion can be something more. A reckoning, a new start, a lesson to others. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Do you think Cody and Robyn can really make it happen? Or is this merely the last act of denial? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another update on TLC Vibes. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.